What's up, everybody? Hope y'all are having a great day. We are doing a scheduled bushing change this time, so if everything goes south, we have nobody to blame but ourselves. But this front end loader's got some pretty serious issues that need to be dealt with before we put the coupler back on here. So while it's off, getting ready to do our blast and paint on all that stuff, we're going to go ahead and take care of these issues, get this thing fixed up, tip top, ready to go to work. So we got bushings to change here on this cylinder. We got bushings to change in here and bushings to change there. And these links here are made to be thrown away. They wear out, you just replace them. It's no bushing, but we're going to bore it out so it'll take a bushing. It's the same bushing that goes inside that tube that goes here. So we're gonna get that done too, so we don't have to replace those links. So the first thing we're going to do is get all this grease cleaned up. Clean everything up with some brake cleaner so we can actually work with it and see what we're dealing with. So we'll start with cleaning this stuff up. We'll hang that cylinder from our hoist here. You can't see it, but it's up here. You'll see it in a minute. So we'll hang the cylinder and start taking all this stuff apart so we can see how bad it is. All right, a little bit more. All right. Oh yeah, I think it's plenty loose now. Now you can get a pretty good idea of the problem. There is a lot of slop in all this. These bushings are shot. This thing's pretty heavy. Well, thankfully, the bushings inside this tube are good. They feel like brand new. There's virtually no slop in there. So there's a little bushing in each end. I thought we were going to have to change them. And if they were anything like the ones in the loader arms, that would have been a nightmare. So thankfully, we don't have to mess with those. But we do have to do all the rest of them. So it's pretty much all apart now. Just cleaning stuff up. Well, based on the condition of those bushings, I'd say the odds are there isn't anything wrong with this pin either, but I'm almost certain I got a new one months ago just because of how bad off everything else was. So may as well change it. It may have a little bit of wear on it right there, but it is not much. So what we're going to do is run this indicator up and down inside that bore in two directions to make sure that it's not twisted or tilted. Once we know that it's sitting in here flat, then we can run it around in a circle and center the spindle up on the hole, and then we can bore it out to take that bushing. So it's actually a touch smaller just inside the top, right? Yeah. I was reading like almost 2,000. Yeah. Now it didn't move hardly any. Yeah, it starts gradually getting bigger. All right, we'll spin it around. If it does the opposite, then we know It ain't straight. So it is doing the opposite. Let's check it side to side, see how bad that is. That's bad too.
Hey, that was a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's probably good enough.
Yeah, that's probably pretty dang close.
Now we just got to deal with this side. And it's showing 5.5 thousandths. That top is definitely tapered.
Mm-hmm.
It changes a lot. It stays right at 5 for like the whole bottom half. So see, I don't know. I mean, if you even it out, then the indicator is going to move the whole time. So it's staying almost dead flat the whole bottom half. And start moving until right there. Yeah, so basically the top half. Top half's tapered. Which we already know this thing's worn. That's why we're doing this. So personally, I feel like the taper we're seeing is wear.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Got a gradual taper from the what's the top here to the center of that bore, and then it's straight, dead straight. I think we go with that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Here's our new bushing. Relatively new anyway.
Relatively new. Did you buy it off Facebook Marketplace?
Well, they were new when I got them
Oh.
a long time ago. All right, now we have 2 inches, 367 and 5/10.
Okay.
And we can subtract our first measurement, and that's what we got to take out. Well, minus 4 thousandths of press fit. Yeah, we'll just take it nice and slow.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Touch it off and take a light pass, and then measure it again. Check it again. Maybe take half of what we need. Do it again. I think we're ready to rock and roll on this deal.
About time. We got 1 inch, 977.
977, bub.
Mm-hmm. So we got 9 thousandths on that pass. All right. So what do we got left? 3505 was 350.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna get all that in one shot.
No.
We'll try 100. I think it'll take 100.
All right, well, we've got our whole board, at least as best we can. I think it's gonna work out okay. We're set up in our little homemade press here, and I think we're ready to go. So we put the bushings in the freezer. They've only been in there for maybe an hour or so, but we figured it's better than nothing. So I'm gonna go run and grab one, and we're gonna see if we can jam it in this hole.
Seems pretty snug.
Yep, it's going.
Ooh, oh, it was crooked. That's why it was so snug. Still pretty snug though, thankfully.
Ooh. Success. Yep. Finally something went smooth. Flush on the other side. Yep. Like it was made for it. Yep. Awesome. So we did some measuring on this thing, and the inside of this bushing measures 961 thousandths. The outside of our brand new pin here measures 947 thousandths. So that gave us about 14 thousandths clearance for this pin, which seems like a lot, obviously. I mean, you can see it wiggling in here. So we thought, well, is that normal? We don't really know what it's supposed to be. So we came to this bushing that we put in a while back. Measured the ID on this. This bushing is pressed in, should be factory fit. 963 thousandths. The pin is 947 thousandths. So that gives us 16 thousandths clearance, factory fit, which kind of seems like a lot to me, but that's the way it is. I assume that's the way they engineered it. So that puts us right on point or a little bit better than factory fit with this bushing. So to me, that means that it's the way it's supposed to be, as loose as it is. So if the factory fit is that loose, were these even worn out? So I went to the other one and I measured it in one direction, and it had little to no wear, maybe a thou or two. I measured it the other direction, I got 18 thousandths wear. So they definitely have quite a bit of wear in them. So I assume that's what we're seeing with all that stuff wiggling around. And this is certainly going to sort that out. But I'm going to measure these and make sure that they have enough wear to justify changing them because the replacements are nylon or Teflon or something like that. So we'll measure all that out, make sure they even need to be changed. I don't know that much about it, obviously, but it kind of seems like a downgrade to go from a steel bushing to nylon or Teflon. I don't know that to be a fact, but it just kind of feels that way. Yeah, 945. About 5/10, so a little 3/10 difference in that reading, but more or less the same. So honestly, that's not a lot of wear. It's not a lot of clearance either compared to the other stuff we've got. So to me, it's kind of hard to justify changing these bushings at this point. So we'll just bore and change the other bushing in the other link like this. And there's 2 more links, of course. So we'll measure them and see what we need to do with them. All right, we're going to go ahead and press in the second bushing with our 6-thou press fit. So we'll see how it goes. She's in there. All right, so now that our bushing's pressed in there, we can measure this bore and see if our extra couple of thousandths of press fit translates to a better fit or not. Right, we got 1 inch, 961 thousandths, maybe 1/10. So we're 3/10 smaller. That's all. It's kind of crazy, but well, there you have it. We got bushings where there didn't used to be bushings, and we got a factory fit, so what more can we ask for, I guess. I'll grab the other 2 links and we'll get some measurements on them and see what, if anything, we need to do to them. So the new one measures 160. 2-inch 160, 7/10. So even if it only compressed 1 thou or 2, still 16 thousandths of wear in it, which is quite a bit. Yep. So these would definitely go ahead and push on out, swap them out. Nothing to it. Old pour board press doing work here. There she is.
Feels pretty good to me. So we got almost 20 thousandths smaller from the worn bushing to the new bushing. So I'd say that's an improvement, worth the effort. So I'll get the other one done, then we'll move on from there. I think that's going to do it for our bushing change outs. Thankfully, everything went good. So I think we put it back together. It's going to be as tight as it probably ever was. So I think before we do go back together with it though, I may do a quick blast and shoot some of these things gray. I think that's going to look good. Just update the colors a little bit and kind of freshen things up a little bit. So I'll do that. I won't make y'all watch it. If y'all want to see blasting and painting, you have to wait till next week when we're blasting and painting the coupler and the boom and forks and all that. So I'll get this done and bring you back when we're ready to start going back together with it. All right. Well, we got the old cylinder painted up. Just hit it with some sandpaper and then put some primer and then the rattle can gray. Came out pretty good.
Yep, looks pretty smooth for a rattle can.
Yep. We got these pieces over here sandblasted and primed and painted gray also. They came out pretty good. I think it's going to look pretty slick with all this stuff gray. Went ahead and took what parts of these had yellow paint on them and I stuck them in the blast cabinet, cleaned all the yellow off, and then felt like I needed to put paint over it because it'd probably rust once you knock the zinc off. So I didn't do these. They didn't have any yellow. I think I'd have preferred none of them had paint on them, but not much I could do about that. So I think we got everything ready to go. Put this thing back together.
And speaking of paint, next week we're going to be painting the coupler, forks, jib, all that stuff. And there's been quite a few people wondering how heavy all that stuff is. And to be honest, we're a little bit curious ourselves. So next week, when we get all that stuff painted, we go to put it back on, we're going to weigh it. We got a scale, like a crane scale, that we can weigh it with. So we're going to find out what all that stuff weighs. But I'd like to know what y'all think. So take a guess, put it in the comments on the coupler or forks or whatever you think. And let us know what you think it weighs, and we'll see how we all come out in the end.
Yeah, just a hint. I think we got at least minimum 60 pounds of MIG wire in there.
Yeah, yeah, at least.
Most grease that thing's had on since it was new.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it.
All right, guys, well, we got the front of this thing all fixed up finally. So got our upgraded bushings on our links here. So that's nice to have. Now we can replace bushings without having to spend $600 a piece on these. So that'll be good. Got everything freshened up, all new grease zerks, new paint. Boy, this sucker looking like brand new. So we're getting everything ready in preparation for the quick coupler final install. So next week we can get it blasted, painted, get it ready to go, and we'll finally be in business for good. So make sure y'all go in the comments and weigh in on what y'all think some of these attachments weigh. Because we're coming up and we're going to put that stuff on a scale and see how that weighs out. So satisfy everybody's curiosity. So make sure you get a comment on that. But if you like the video, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, we'd appreciate if you'd subscribe to the channel. And then go in the comments while you're in there, type subscribed as well, and that'll get you entered into our monthly giveaways. And congratulations to the giveaway winner for this month of the channel lock plier set. Your name's in the description below. For our next giveaway, we're giving away an assortment of Klein tools, so check that out. There'll be a link in the description for that as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.